And we are finally live, people. What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. Gentlemen's Game, Davey I,
All right, my king.
Shooter, Adam T, PEDs, Sasha Salaya, or Sasha Saya, okay? But want to talk to you guys about the $10 million man, Deontay, the Bronze Bomber Wilder. You know, Wilder has made pretty much a standard. He set a standard on how much he would take. If you guys coming in on the chat, please hit the like button for me. It alerts other people for notifications that's already subscribers to the channel. Now, Wilder set a price. $10 million, 8 million pounds, right? Um, what do I think about that? Better yet, what do you guys think about that? The question is, should they pay him? Should Tyson Fury pay him? Should Anthony Joshua pay him? Should Bob Arum pay him? Should Eddie Hearn pay him? Should Matchroom, ESPN, because that's what we're dealing with. We're dealing with Matchroom, we're dealing with the Zone, we're dealing with ESPN, because there's going to be a merging market. If Anthony Joshua takes on Tyson Fury for Undisputed, it's going to be another merging network deal, people. It's going to be that way. Erzium, yeah, I'm good, brother. How you doing? Ahmed, I'd rather Tyson batter him again than him get laid or him gets laid. On another note, though, I still want to see Joshua versus Miller. Joshua versus Miller wouldn't be too bad. I'll talk about that in another video, but that should be a pretty good fight to see. You know, I want the undisputed, but I guess we have to see AJ Pulev and Fury Wilder first. Well, it's like this. I think that Deontay Wilder has to understand that he's not in this negotiation alone. I understand what he said he wanted, which is nothing wrong with what he's asking for, because you have to look at each situation the way it is. It's a lot of people like, oh, that's a lot of money. I mean, yeah, it is a lot of money, and I do agree that I'm not convinced that Deontay Wilder made that type of money with his last fight. I don't, because we don't know, because it was kind of sketchy how the negotiations were on what he was going to get. Best life. Oh, everything's good. We just had rain, a hard rain. Now the sun's shining. It's crazy. So it is what it is. Corona. Dodge 172. Is that what he's actually asking for? Yeah, he said it. One condition: if you give me $10 million, I will step aside and let Tyson Fury take on his British rival Anthony Joshua for Undisputed, and he wants the winner. Okay. Now, did he say it on a video? No. Was it verbatim? No. It's just sources has reported he said that. Now, see, here's the problem. What's going on in the boxing world? Unless Deontay Wilder's a kind of person that doesn't really watch the internet or look at the internet, which I think he does, and if he doesn't, I'm pretty sure the people that surround him does, especially if they supposed to be a part of his PR team. They have to be aware of what's going on around him. Okay. Good job. Keep doing what you're doing. You've been counterpunched from Berlin. Russell Bleak, thank you. Counterpunch back to you. John McDowell. Wilder doesn't deserve to jump straight into an undisputed fight. He hasn't even tried to unify. John McDowell, look, that's always going to be a problem with Wilder. He never really tried to advance his career, or he was never allowed to. However you want to slice it or dice it, it didn't happen for him, and I think you're in control of your own career to a certain extent. So, I agree with you, but I mean, unfortunately, um, you have to fight the best, and you can't run from good fights forever. So, yeah, now that he wants a good fight, you can't get pissed off because the fight's getting closer of happening, because he took on Fury, he got beat by Fury. Well, he wants the winner. So if he does want the winner, and I want people to listen to me about Deontay Wilder, if he truly wants the winner, and they give this man $10 million to fight the winner out of those two, and it ends up being Joshua, and he takes that fight, okay, well, now he's ready to take on that fight. Now he is. But under no circumstances, if let's say if Joshua wins and he finds a way to dwindle out, well, okay, then he could be countersued because he agreed to fight the winner. That's if they wanted to go that far with it. Oh, that's paid, not laid. Okay, no problem, no problem. Wow, cocaine is a hell of a drug. Wilder versus Charles Martin. That would be a good fight. You know, I think they could duke it out. Since Mike Tyson coming back, how about Ika Barabucci Kurt? Oh, you know what, Jarrell Johnson? You know what? Good counterpunch. Because I do recall Ika Barabucci coming back to the ring. I haven't heard what he's done, but I mean, we haven't heard anything from any type of sports per se. That was early this year or late last year, right? When Ika Barabucci's supposed to be coming back. Honestly, I honestly don't want him to come back. I like his crash and burn career. I like the legacy of what could be versus an old shell of himself and all those wasted years that he could have been fighting and destroying and kicking ass and taking names. He wasn't allowed to. Now I know with people like Muhammad Ali and Tony Ayala and Tyson Fury, I do know these guys had times out of the ring where they could have made a difference, but unfortunately, they couldn't fight for whatever reason. Either they were locked up like Tony Ayala was, and he came out and he was beaten by Yori Boy Campos, which was a great fight, by the way. But you do have to wonder, like, what would that fighter be like if he was out of the if he was fighting in his prime? Ika Barabucci, you know, is one of those statistics. So I'm not sure. It's a good question though. If Ika Barabucci's up for it, I mean, he is. Ika Barabucci is probably about Shannon Briggs' age. Hold on a second. Let's see how old he is. I think he was born in '73 though. I could be wrong. How old is Ika Barabucci?
47 years old.
47. Shannon Briggs, I think, is 47 or 48. So I know he was around that age. So, I mean, still up there. I don't know what condition he's in right now. I know he got hella big. I mean, that prison big. Like he was sitting there with a wife beater on and some khakis, and he was kind of squatting, and he looked like a damn Samoan. His hair was long, and he said, and then what's so trippy about Ika Barabucci though, he has this light voice. I want to fight again. And like this light African voice. I am ready to fight. I am ready to fight again. It's all about God. I am the president, but he is God. Yeah. Could Wilder be past his prime? I don't know. I don't know, Martha, because there's a lot of times where he probably should have been fighting people when he was knocking out all these guys. And the saddest part about it, if he had the power and he hit someone that was credible, he would probably knock them out too. But that goes where you try to protect people past your own good or their own good. A lot of times when you're catering or what's the word, sheltering a fighter, you could also be, when you're when you're a pacifier for a fighter, you're probably doing them more harm than good if you keep sucking a titty too long. You know what I mean? So we don't know. I mean, maybe he wasted that time fighting these guys that were useless, where he could have been fighting better competition. So we don't know. It might be, it might be his time. That's a very good question, though. So, Martha Stubbs kind of punched to you. Lee, Favel. Wilder will never regain his belt or any championship again. Damn, that's wishful thinking, right? Hey, yeah, okay. Word of the day: Tyson needs to do it for the money and entertain. Don't risk your health. Tyson versus some UFC guy in a fixed fight. You know what? Word of the day, kind of punch to you, first of all. But Mike Tyson has already said he doesn't want a UFC guy. He wants to fight a boxer. So you gotta respect that because I mean, to say the least, he's not like Floyd. He doesn't want to go in there and beat the shit out of a UFC guy with boxing gloves on, where the UFC guy is looking for all other kind of tactics and strategies to beat him. Whether it's grappling or or wrestling or submission. You don't have that in boxing. You use these. That's what you have. Sometimes this as Holyfield, right? But anyway, we want the big money fight, but chicken legs in the way. That dude there, man. Wilder though. I think of chicken legs. I always think about it. He's oh, that costume was too heavy. I'm like, dude, don't say that, dude. You're making the people with skinny legs make, and he shits on everybody with skinny legs because, it's one of those things where now everybody with skinny legs, because they're small, you're gonna think they're weak, and that's not the case. It's people with skinny legs that, in fact, not only if they're strong, they're heavy as shit. You don't know what's inside. I sparred with a guy, martial arts, and he had skinny ass legs. But every time he checks me, that shit is like hitting a steel rod. Okay? So it doesn't mean that they're skinny, but, Wilder, you know, my legs, my legs gone. My legs gone. Jerome Benjamin, howdy. What's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Tyson and Hay would be very entertaining. That would be a pretty good fight. Depends on how Hay comes into the ring, you know. Wilder's been carrying doubt since he's lost his belt and just been coming with some dumb excuses since. Airzism, I'm saying this, we can't ignore the excuses. The excuses were pitiful. They were pathetic. And I think that since they were so pathetic, so pitiful, I feel that he should take time off. Just take time off. Take the money. Shit, take 5 million. Tyson Fury said he ain't gonna give him five. Or I'm sorry, two. So, but I mean, again, I can understand where Tyson Fury's coming from. And at the same time, Deontay Wilder is just really looking for, the best possible situation and just trying to make the most out of the situation. Which I can't fault him though. I mean, a lot of people are like, "What are you crazy? He's crazy." Well, he's either trying to price himself out, you know, but then I've always felt this that Wilder, the money that he was offered, not received, offered, was he didn't deserve that. But little does people understand when you offer a fighter money and he turns it down, then you're already showing him what he's worth. He just didn't take the money. Now that was on the intelligence of him or whatever, but in hindsight, he could always go to somebody where he came from and say, "Look, DAZN just offered me a whole gang of money, so you got motherfuckers got to pay me." So it is what it is. Counterpunch from Manchester. God bless you. Stay safe. While Wilder don't step aside and fave Andy Ruiz and lets Joshua and Fury fight first. What do you think, Larry? I think that again, it's not all about Wilder. Okay, I think Wilder. This is what I really feel. I think Wilder should contact Kubrat Pulev and those guys. Let's say this. Let's say Kubrat Pulev fights Deontay Wilder. Right? Think about it. Why couldn't Pulev fight Deontay Wilder? Deontay has a contractual agreement, right? Kubrat Pulev is the mandatory for the IBF, right? So if those guys, if they get together and come together and say, well, look, let's get 5 million apiece, we'll split it. In return, We can negotiate a fight between Pulev and Deontay Wilder, right? And then whoever wins, that eliminates all that other shit. The IBF has to be in on it though. They have to, well, hey, instead of fighting Joshua, because Joshua's fighting the WBC challenger for an undisputed fight, so that locks all the belts up. So what we're going to do with you, since you're under contractual agreement, and then Kubrat Pulev, you're mandatory, you have an option to fight Deontay Wilder. But in return, they still have to split the money up. I don't think Deontay should be off. I think Deontay's worth 5 million, right? Wasn't his guarantee for the Fury fight, the rematch, $5 million? You can forget about the 25 extra. Well, with an additional 25, that's just stupid. He was guaranteed 5 million. Fury was guaranteed 5 million, right? Now the pay per view or whatever they say the live gate paid for the $5 million guaranteed or whatever, but that's based off a certain dollar amount, which it is what it is with those. I think it was like, was it 700 pay per view buys? I can't remember how much it did. Let me check. How much did Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury do pay per view wise?
According to Forbes, per Coppinger, Wilder and Fury are both guaranteed $28 million for Saturday's fight, plus a 50-50 split on pay-per-view profits.
Okay, so the 28 million, which if they're getting step aside money, which ain't bad though. I mean, 10 million, but 10 million to do absolutely nothing, that's a bit steep. You know what I mean? Like, give me $10 million, I'll step aside. But it's only you getting it. Why don't you split that shit with Pulev? Right? Die Hard Casuals. Counterpunch to you, brother. Love from London. I heard that. Wilder should take on Ruiz for the warm-up fight. Okay. Who has to pay Wilder to step aside? How does that work? Brittany, I have no fucking idea. I have no idea. All this really is Deontay Wilder saying that he would do it under this obligation, right? One condition. I will do it for $10 million. Give me $10 million, I'll step aside. That's the sources. So, hey, don't kill the messenger. Because I heard this last year and I thought it was bullshit. Because it was only on one, I think it was Boxing Kingdom, I believe. That was the source. Well, I did the video, but as I said to people in the video, this might be some bullshit. Just letting you guys know, I doubt that he said that or whatever, but then you had other sources. You had the rest of them, right? Boxing News and what's that other famous British I can't remember right now. But they reported the same shit. So I'm like, okay, well, obviously this is going around and it's making news. So I was like, okay. But then again, has Deontay Wilder saying he's denying it? No. So, there you go. But no, but I can tell you this, Brittany. Tyson Fury ain't doing it. Bob Arum ain't doing it. You know what I mean? So it's pretty much the only party is left is Team Joshua. And you think they want to give the bitch $10 million? They don't want to give the bitch $10 million. Or should I say, they don't want to give the guy that's acting like a bitch $10 million. You know what I mean? And it's really not even fair to Team Joshua to give him $10 million. Right? I mean, that's what Joshua called him. He said it in his own way. Well, it might, starts with a B and ends with an H. That's bitch. But you think he wants to then turn back and give him, pull some Charles Martin shit and he ain't even fighting him? Nah, I doubt that. From Love from Eastbourne. Counterpunch to you. Sacha. Jerome Benjamin. I'm with Fury on this one. No free money for Wilder. No, if I'm Fury, I can understand exactly. Because, I beat your ass. I know I can beat your ass. You never beat me. We fought twice. The draw was bullshit. I took you over. People, look, it got so bad that people wanted that man, they wanted to call it a no contest. They wanted to call that shit a no contest. They came up with the drugging of Deontay Wilder. They came up with the PEDs of Tyson Fury. They brought up some shit from 5 years ago, right, in defense of what he could be doing to this day, right, or to that day. What did they do? The boxing gloves was fucked up, tampered, rocks, object in the boxing gloves. They had little, civil rights cats out making videos on that shit, and people are eating this shit like it's dessert, you know? But it's one of those things. And then all this time, Wilder didn't say shit. So it's it's crazy, man. It's just crazy. So if I'm Tyson Fury and I'm hearing all this, Tyson Fury's heard about Glovegate and all that. So he's like, dude, that's absolute bollocks. I'm not giving this bitch money. I'm gonna fight him and beat this bitch again. I'm gonna batter him, the big Dawsa. That's what he was gonna do, and I wouldn't do it either though. You guys accuse me, I beat this dude fair and square, and you guys say I cheated, all the fans. How bitter can you fucking be though? I mean, like, come on, man. Like, I understand. Let me share something with you guys. A lot of people on my channel, they are a lot of subscribers are AJ fans, right? Okay, from the UK, go figure. That's no big surprise. But when Joshua was defeated, I went from, at that time I probably had about 19,000 subscribers, 19,600 or something like that. Close to 20 than any other thing. When the night when Anthony Joshua got beat by Ruiz, those fucking subscribers left. Like, it went from 19.6 to like 18.4. I was like, what the fuck? So I understand about the bitterness. I'm like, dude, it's not, I know it's shocking. I know it's an upset, but like, dude, that shows you that people were pissed off. People were hurt. Okay? People were hurt about that shit. I mean, they showed like, oh, fuck this America. And I'm like, damn, dude, it ain't that fucking, I mean, it's crazy. And that's like maybe 1,100 subscribers just dropped like in 30 minutes. Like, I know YouTube, I mean, they're pretty accurate with the numbers, but then, like, damn, but then you have to understand, like, the things that happen. You got to talk yourself through it. You got to understand. But most importantly, you have to accept it. Accept the fact Joshua got beat. Now, one thing that differs Joshua from Wilder, right, is that he accepted the defeat. He accepted the defeat, and he was like, okay, hey, I lost. The better man won. That was that. He didn't go run, didn't go hide. In fact, he was driving bikes and shit around New York, Times Square. Like, hey, I'm living the best of it. I got my ass beat, but hey, I'm in New York. I like it here. I love it here. He didn't let it fuck with him like that. So it was one of those things, but Wilder, man, that was the totally opposite. They didn't accept the defeat. So that's the one thing. So it's crazy. It's just one of those things where you have to accept it, and I think that was the problem with Wilder. But what does that mean? Saying all that to say this, what does that mean for Team Fury? Team Fury heard all that bitter shit. So you think, again, they want to participate in giving Wilder money, step aside money, $10 million? And you ask yourself like, well, damn, that's a lot of money. And think about the rest of the boxing world that don't get paid that. Think about the Charlos, right? Think about damn, everybody wants to call today. Wow. Anyway, think about the Charlos. The Charlos haven't even made $1 million a fight yet. And then Deontay Wilder's making 10 million to sit around and wait. That's, that just shows a lot about, how a person is viewed, right? Someone will give the money because I think we all want to see the undisputed fight. NS Gaming 12029. All right. First off, I think that if somebody like some angel investor decides to give Deontay Wilder that type of money, if he also knows anything about the situation, he has to do a similar deal with Pulev. He just has to. I mean, if not, that's what it is. You know, it's one of those things. 10 million is nothing compared to what AJ and Fury would make. Wilder has been ducking and blocking for too long. Kimberly, I get that. I understand that. But see, here's the thing. It's the principle of the matter. Why would you give someone that got beat $10 million? Yes, he has an obligation. How about this? How about you give Deontay Wilder $1 million and just let whoever wins with the WBC after the WBC, and I think it should be a year at least. I think with a year from, I think a year from the fight of Joshua and Fury. So whoever wins with Joshua and Fury, I think that Deontay, I think he should wait right now. I think he should wait. He should wait out. He should be patient. He should take a couple fights. He could fight Pulev again. He could fight Ruiz. He could fight these guys that he could have been fighting the whole freaking time. He could have been doing that, and I think this is an opportunity for him to do that. But it just shows you how, who Deontay Wilder is reminding me of right now, and it's going to sound really real or really crazy, but if you think about it, it's true. He is he's sounding like or thinking like Gennady Golovkin. Think about it. Gennady Golovkin, same situation, right? First fight was a draw. Second fight he lost, but Wilder beat him convincingly. Triple G, wanted that, but Triple G did the same thing. Triple G should have been fighting Deverenchenko. He didn't do that. He decided to chase Canelo. He wanted to chase Canelo after Canelo beat Cotto, right? Right? When Canelo slid out of that weird ass decision out of Lara, then he had the super fight with Cotto, then beat Cotto, and then he's supposed to fight because Gennady Golovkin was the mandatory, okay, for the WBC. Now, get this. The belt was given to him after that. That still wasn't enough for Gennady Golovkin. He wanted to still fight like Canelo. And I'm like, why would you want to fight him? Money. He was after the money. So was Deontay Wilder after the money? Well, yeah, you could say so. Why? Because that was the first time he made any type of money like that. And then if the first time you ever witnessed that type of money, that's what you're going to get accustomed to. And I think that's what happened to Deontay Wilder. When he fought for the first time and he made that $3 million or whatever it was, you got to understand, in late 18, Wilder made $3 million guaranteed. $4 million. $4 million guaranteed. And Tyson Fury made three. So that's $7 million. So less than $10 million you can pay out your fighters. Okay. They talked about how empty the arena was. So I doubt that came from the live gate was able to pay for these guys' salary. I don't know if it was or weren't. Because again, I wasn't complaining about that. A lot of people were saying, well, it was empty. I didn't notice it was empty, but that's just what they were saying. And that's what the facts, because a lot of those chairs were still folded over. They weren't even open because they didn't sell enough tickets. So it looked crowded to me. But then, if that's the fact, they didn't have enough to cover the fighters. So Deontay didn't make that much money. He didn't. He has never made that much. He got $4 million, and in compared to what was it, 2.5, I believe. Let's see how much he made for fighting Ortiz. How much did Deontay Wilder make for fighting Luis Ortiz?
Here's a summary from Sporting News. Wilder will make at least $3 million, while Ortiz's payout begins at $1.5
Okay,
million
that's the first
per
fight.
Yahoo's Kevin.
Deontay Wilder's pay grade with the first Ortiz fight. Shitty.
According to Sporting News, Wilder will make at least $3 million, while Ortiz's payout.
Okay. Anyway, that's not giving me nothing. Thanks, Google. But anyway, no, I feel that Deontay got a taste of that money, and he didn't care about fighting Joshua because he knew fighting Joshua was more of a threat. I think he knew that. I think his team knew that. I know damn well Shelly Finkel knew that because Shelly Finkel seen where his fighter got knocked out by Anthony Joshua, and his fighter was who? Vladimir Klitschko. Okay, so he knew. Well, if I'm not going to put Deontay Wilder in with Klitschko, I'm damn sure not going to put him in there with Anthony Joshua that beat Klitschko. Right? I mean, just think about it. So a lot of things make sense in hindsight when you're looking at it, But I think Deontay was acting like Triple G because he had all these opportunities to fight Anthony Joshua and he didn't. He wanted Tyson Fury. He wanted the Fury fight. I want to right my wrongs. He starts saying that. I'm like, well, damn, what wrongs? If you thought you knocked him out, how are you wrong about anything? So a lot of, I start questioning a lot of that stuff. He turned down that massive amount of money, but they know that was a smokescreen because they wanted to up the guy's stakes. So if John Skipper was smart, he should have never, ever offered him that amount of money. Just like I don't think Oscar De La Hoya should have offered Errol Spence 20 million because now he has 20 million in his head. Now you never accept the first offer. Well, in business that's true, but why would the hell would Oscar De La Hoya offer Errol Spence that type of money? Just like John Skipper, they offered him a lucrative deal to fight on the zone, which he turned down. Like the shit made him sick. I don't want that money. It's sickening. I don't want that the zone money. It's crazy. But I do feel that Wilder, he's going for broke. He is going for broke people, you know? So, what do you guys think that Wilder should do with Kubrat Pulev? If he shouldn't fight Tyson Fury for the trilogy fight, who do you think he should fight? That's a question. Don't be shy. So um, but again, I think Andy Ruiz would be a good fight for him. I think Andy Ruiz would be that fight that he should have because Ruiz is an ex-champion, right? Ruiz is an ex-champion. He actually has more pull than Deontay Wilder, so to speak, because he was the unified champion. And I know Wilder had held his belt longer, but Andy Ruiz has a bigger following, and I think if Deontay Wilder, wanted to exploit, if he wanted to use the Al Heyman business model, I think he should fight someone like Andy Ruiz. Why? Because Andy Ruiz again has Mexico. He has a whole country behind him. Floyd Mayweather Jr. said it to Brian Kenny the best. He said Juan Manuel Marquez has a whole country behind him. People out of Mexico, and one thing about Mexicans will support their own, unlike a lot of other people won't. But Mexicans will. They will buy tickets. A place that's regarded as a third world country. They're gonna support their third world country citizens, right? So if Deontay Wilder fought Andy Ruiz, that's a lot of revenue. You know, that's a lot of revenue. But I think that Wilder should kind of reconsider. I think he should consider that Kubrat Pulev is there. He's in effect. He's the guy that will be a major player in getting a fight done. Because if he's serious about taking $10 million, he has to understand that someone else has to step down in order for that fight to happen. If that makes sense, you know. So it's crazy. 10 million is nothing. Let's see. Ego said, don't listen to no one if Wilder ain't said it. True. Okay, so what about Glovegate? Wilder ain't said it. Well, there you go. Robert Navarro, counterpunch. So Wilder didn't say anything regarding Glovegate. But see, the thing is, he didn't say anything, so you could say that. But here's the deal. He didn't say anything, but in hindsight, it's like, what the hell? you know? Um, in hindsight, you're looking at Wilder not mentioning Glovegate, but allowing that shit to stir up. He wants a following. He needs that support. If they're gonna believe it, great, believe it. Just stick by me, please. Stick by me, please. You know. But no, that's just what I wanted to share with you guys. You guys tell me what you think. Everybody on the chat. Incognito, Word of the Day, Kimberly, Robert Navarro, Terry, Harrenlaw, Big Boss, NS Gaming 129. Everybody on the chat, thank you for coming on. Please subscribe, and you guys been counterpunching. Peace.